Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of Our Last Leg. You got me, Jonny G, and my homie boy.
Oh, Nicky G. Johnny, how you been this week, my boy?
Oh, man, been good. Did you watch some football this week?
Goddamn right we watched some football this week.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, before we do continue, as always, please be sure to drop a like, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel and Spotify. We try our best to drop weekly content on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. That way you have time to hear your piece, especially before Thursday Night Football. As far as that goes, did you have anything to say before we dive right in, my guy?
Oh, yeah, I've got a lot to fucking say, John.
You go first then.
Well, first of all, yes, you can listen on Spotify. If you want to wait for the YouTube video, you get to see this handsome face right here. But, yeah, you guys want to like, subscribe to all the shit we've got going on. We greatly appreciate it. But, yes, what a crazy fucking week for NFL 1, my boy.
Hell yeah, man.
Crazy
I
week.
saw so many winning slips this weekend, more than I have in a long time as far as NFL goes.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Oh, 100%. But like I said it last week, and I still stand by it. NFL and FanDuel and all sports books give you dog shit odds. Not dog shit, but very good odds when it comes to your bets and stuff like that week one. As long as you do your research, you can make a killing. And we popped off last week if you guys listened to us.
Oh, yeah.
100%. So, bets from last week. I'll go ahead and rattle them off for you real quick. Ravens, Chiefs. I had the Ravens at plus 5.5 and over 39.5. Ravens missed on the spread, but we hit over 39.5.
Yeah, they won.
Eagles, Packers. I took the Eagles money line, and we got the over-under wrong. So, we got one wrong out of each of those. Here we go. We got Colts and Texans. I took the Colts at plus 3.5 and over 46.5. Got them both right. I took the Lions, Rams. I took the Lions at minus 2.5 and under 55.5. 55 straight. Got them both right. I took the Jets, 49ers. 49ers to cover minus 2.5 and over 39.5. Got both of those right. So if you tailed us, you went 8 for 10 last week. And I don't know what else to tell you guys. We are hot.
Crazy.
We stay hot. Yes, that's fucking gorgeous, right?
Yeah, bro.
That's beautiful.
We're definitely going to try better or do a little bit better on maybe keeping track of how much units we are up. But, I mean, overall, this is a good recap. Or at least telling you 8 out of 10, that's 80%, man. That's fucking crazy.
And even if let's say you throw in the same game parlay that I lost.
Imagine
big fucking time.
Yeah.
So right now I'm 8 for 11 so far after week 1. After giving you guys bets, 8 for 11. You're up. You are up. All right.
Yeah, hell yeah. As far as recaps go, I guess just a little bit on the ones you already mentioned. Ravens, man, the Ravens, man, they really like to wait for the last second to show up, don't they? It came down to a toe.
Literally.
Yeah. It was a phenomenal game. A game that we expected for it to be high scoring, and for the possibility for it to basically almost end up going to overtime was absolutely nerve-wracking. But if you saw, as soon as he caught the ball, you saw that he wanted to go for a 2. So overtime was not going to happen no matter what. He wanted to go for the win. I feel like maybe that's a very aggressive way to start off the season, but maybe it was just to kind of, convey a message. But nonetheless, it didn't happen. It came down to a toe, and it just didn't come through from a guy named Likely. Speaking of tight ends, where the fuck was Mark Andrews? What happened, man?
I think the biggest problem with that was the fact that Mark Andrews is not 100% healthy yet. He is coming back in more of a blocking role. Hey, he's a unit. Don't get me wrong. Mark Andrews is a big fucking boy. So I think that's why, Likely's younger, he's faster, he's bigger, and he's better out on the field. He looks like a wide receiver. He shouldn't be allowed to move that big.
Speaking of big,
move that fast, being that big.
But as far as units, didn't you find it a little odd too? That last drive, they didn't even play Derrick Henry at all. Didn't you find that a little interesting?
Not really, because I said it last week. I'll be very curious to see how they include Derrick Henry into this offense. And Harbaugh came out and said, we did not bring Derrick Henry here to give him the ball 30 fucking times.
That is true.
So a lot of fantasy owners are upset about that one. But at the same time, you can't be mad about that, because instead of having a third-string running back in the backfield, now you have a threat that really can cause a problem the second that you take him out of the gameplay. The second the defense is like you know what? We don't have to worry about Derrick Henry right now.
Yeah.
That's where they're going to fuck up, and that's what the Ravens are banking on.
Yeah. And I guess the last point I want to bring up of the Ravens before we do continue, that's crazy. Lamar Jackson, if you combine his rushing and his passing yards that game, he almost broke 400 yards. Insane.
Guess who laddered it?
Insane. There you go. Well, anyway, moving forward, our last leg, we did post on Instagram. As far as our favorite play, went with Saquon Barkley. He cashed not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns in
We did
one
not have that.
game. No, we did not. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know we're going to try our best to also give you one favorite play, whether it's an anytime touchdown. Just keep an eye out on Instagram.
Always going to be looking for even
Also,
money
make sure
on
to
it,
check out
though.
the Discord. We do throw some plays in there too. That's in the description below. Next game, a little bit. Dolphins were a bit slow to pull off a win, man. It was a little slow, more than I think most people anticipated. But I think once old boy who got arrested 2 hours before
I'll tell you
the
who
game.
wasn't slow. Tyreek on his way to the game.
But even so, he got that 80-yard touchdown, did that little handcuff celebration, which was pretty funny. Overall, I mean, I feel like I knew they were going to win. I just didn't think it would take them that long to pull away, and not that they ever really did. It came out to the last second. Colts almost broke their 10-year first win out of 10 years. Man.
Well, I'll tell you right now, John, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and that's about as close as you can get right there. I mean, by 2 points, there was a lot of bullshit.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, Colts lost the game. Better team won. There were some questionable calls, but at the end of the day, we lost, and we will come back stronger than ever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as far as the next game goes, Detroit Lions win in overtime.
Crazy.
Could you believe
Absolutely
that, dude?
crazy.
I really couldn't believe it. And speaking of the Rams, dude, the Rams don't have a run game defense or just the fact that Monty and Gibbs alone are just way too good. Way too good. But we'll touch base on that soon. And the last one is Monday Night Football. For a team where their absolute best player, CMC, was out. That was announced, I think, 1 or 2 hours before the game went out. But that didn't matter because they have some boy named Jordan Mason, a boy from Georgia Tech. It seems like the 49ers are covered no matter who is out, let alone CMC.
Now, 2 things to touch on that game. One, it's clear that anybody can run behind that fucking offensive line. Anybody.
Yep.
Now, let's go to the main point that I really want to talk about. 49ers are going to be in big trouble because did you listen to his post-game interview?
No, I just saw he got chained up at the end, though.
So, 49ers running back comes out post-game interview, and he says that he was told Friday that he was the starter.
Jordan Mason?
Yes. That is a big no-no in the NFL. You have to announce when a player is already out. So for him to come out and say he found out he was starting Friday already, for them to not announce that is a big no-no.
You think they'll get fined or anything?
49ers are going to be under investigation 100%. You're not allowed to do that. Like, you've never been allowed to do that.
Right.
And, the NFL relies so much on fantasy and gambling for the hype that they bring.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the NFL has always been popular, been a great sport. Everybody's always loved it. But it has added a different level of popularity to the NFL when it comes to gambling and fantasy.
You tell me, though, would you think that the sportsbook had a play on this? The fact that probably the whole world,
Vegas knew.
The whole
Vegas
world
knew.
wanted Christian McCaffrey because there were a lot of pending parlays literally on that final game. And who knows how much money all these sportsbooks would have lost if CMC did play, because we already know he's going to absolutely make a touchdown. So just future reference, next week, you already know who to put on your first slip.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me, though.
That's even if he's back next week. And if he's not, I will 100% take that running back for 50 fucking yards.
Fair. All right, well, that clears up a bit of the recap that I had on my end. I think I'm ready to talk about some of the games that we had in mind to chat with you.
I think we start cooking, Johnny boy.
You want to go first or me?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start it off.
Bring
We
it
got Thursday Night Football. We have got the Buffalo Bills going over to Miami. Buffalo Bills going to go see the Dolphins. Dolphins are favored at -1.5, and the over-under sits at 49.5. I preached this last year, and I will preach it every day we do this podcast. Divisional game, folks. Divisional game, okay?
Oh, boy.
Everybody needs to be prepared for that. This can be a huge game for the AFC East.
Yeah.
100%,
Hell yeah.
because these two teams, let's be honest, they're going to be the front runners to win the division. 100%. So coming away with one win right now is going to be huge. Absolutely huge. Dolphins are coming into this game after a showdown for the state of Florida. Finns beat the Jags 2017 with a late field goal. Tyreek and Waddle,
Yeah,
they
crazy.
combined for 239 fucking yards and one tutty for the Cheetah. They didn't have any standouts in the running back field, but Tua looked good. So did Achan. I don't know how to say his fucking last name. Achan.
Or something like that, yeah.
It is clear that he's going to be the number one back with the amount of carries that Raheem Mostert got. I say that with confidence. But Tua looked very good, in my opinion.
Yes.
He still has a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah, it took a little bit, but yeah.
His wide receivers make him look very, very good.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
It's hard to fuck up whenever you've got, the cheetah and the penguin on your left and your right.
Yeah. It's a zoo out here.
I think the wide receivers make him look a lot better than what he really is. What the true test would be, give this guy, a 17th round draft pick that is projected to do great, and let me know if he can go do the exact same thing he did with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. And I don't think he can.
I agree.
But I do have love and hope and nothing but great wishes for Tua.
Yeah. Especially coming back after a very scary injury. Was it last year or 2 years ago where he had that seizure in the middle of the game because he got hit so hard? I think
he's
that
lucky to still be playing ball.
Yeah. Anyways, I do have a couple of tidbits here for the Bills and Dolphins game. The Bills did have a very slow start that first half, if you guys watched, because a lot of people, including myself, had them on the ML. The Cardinals hit him with a 2-touchdown, I think, and a field goal at the very beginning of the game.
They came out the game
so it was very crazy, just as much as how crazy the Bills had those halftime adjustments. They came back to beat the Cardinals 34 points to 17.
38-24 was the final
24.
score.
I missed the touchdown. The Dolphins had a very similar slow start too, to consider, to be honest. But they didn't have a big gap as much as the Bills did. They really started to build momentum after that first touchdown with Tyreek. But if you're comparing both of these teams, listen, is it really a battle between both teams, the Buffalo Bills and the Dolphins? Or is it a battle between Josh Allen and the Dolphins? The reason I say that, hear me out.
Yeah, give me a little bit.
The Dolphins all around have so many players that cover the field. Waddle, Tyreek. As now we're also thinking about the running backs, Arcane, however you pronounce his fucking name, and Raheem Mostert. Interesting to say, both of these quarterbacks threw so many passes, practically to the whole team, bro. If you go back and look at this game log, they threw each of the QBs threw the ball to 9 receivers.
Holy shit.
That is 18 receivers total. So everyone got their piece.
God bless.
So if you were able to kind of make a live bet on any of these active low string wide receivers, if your sportsbook allowed it, they all broke at least 20 yards. Pretty interesting. I disagree.
A nice little find.
But anyway, I digress a little. Bills don't have a deep arsenal after losing someone like Stephon Diggs. And I also I recall that Gabe Davis is also out of the team now. He's with the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And I realized that last game. Not to mention how Kincaid didn't see as many targets that a lot of people anticipated.
That blew what? Two of our parlays?
Yep, 2 of my parlays. And I had them on my fantasy too, so that really fucking sucked. I still pulled out a dub, but that didn't matter. I don't think that the Mafia will be able to keep up with as much of a receiving and running back heavy end that the Dolphins do have on their back pocket. I really don't want to see Allen continue running as much as he does because I'm really scared that he might actually endanger himself getting himself hurt because I feel like Josh Allen is one of the only people on that team who can truly make some moves because, again, they don't have as many people for him to rely on anymore, which leads me to my pick.
All right. Well, pump the brakes there, hot dog. So last week Josh Allen went 18 for 23, 2 touchdowns, top it off, ran 39 yards, 2 touchdowns on himself. He only missed 5 passes the entire game, which is very, very fucking impressive.
It is.
James Cook alone ran the ball 19 times, 71 yards. I said it last week, and I'll say it again this week. He is going to play a huge role in this offense. And I'm okay with it. I think James Cooks is a wonderful running back, and he has a lot of room to grow and finally flourish. But this is going to be a good game. It's going to be a close matchup. So, John, I want to hear. I want to hear what your pick is, just on the spread, money line, or over under.
The over and under, I feel like everyone's anticipating a very high-scoring game. Sometimes those are the ones that are always the scariest, But I'm going to just go ahead and say my pick is the Miami Dolphins ML.
I got the Dolphins money line, and I've got over 46.5 on that play.
Hell yeah. Because
I like
it
that.
could be a little tight.
I think this game is very well matched,
Yeah.
and I'm going to take the team that has the home field advantage.
That was another part
Now, if
too.
the Bills were at home, I'm taking the Bills.
You think so? That would have been it? Okay.
100%. That's what it came down to for me.
I think I would have taken the Bills if we were closer to December or January, because it's
Okay, that's
colder
a
than
good point.
balls.
That's a good
but
point.
which is, again, something Miami's not really accustomed to. So I think if they played in Buffalo even this Thursday, I'd still think I would have to take the Dolphins. But if it was in December, January, February,
Buffalo?
In Buffalo.
Yes.
Then I would
that's
take
their bread and
Buffalo.
butter. That's
Yeah.
their bread and butter.
That's
The
me.
Dolphins are great in hot, sticky weather.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo is great in ice cold temperatures, and Miami has no idea what the fuck that's like.
Exactly. Well, fam, excuse me. That takes care of my pick for that piece. Unless you had something for the Thursday night Nicky G SGP.
You goddamn right we do. I fucked up last week. I tried to make it on the fly. Didn't do that this week. Here we go. You guys are ready? Go ahead and open up your FanDuel. I'll give you a second. Should have been quicker. Here we go. We have got Jalen Waddle. Give me him for 40 yards. I love that fucking pick. That leg sits at like minus 300, and you guys are going to understand why I took that here momentarily, because we've got great odds for you. So we got Jalen Waddle sitting at 40 yards. I like James Cook for 2 catches. He got 3 last week.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It seems like Josh Allen does not have a definitive guide that he likes to go to right now. So that's why I like James Cook for 2 receptions, especially against the Dolphins. Last week, they allowed, I want to say, 3 or 4 catches to the running backs. So I like him for 2 receptions. I don't want him on the yards specifically because I don't know if he's going to get the yardage, but I do know he'll get the catches. They go ahead and give me Josh Allen for 25 rushing yards. When you brought up you didn't like Josh Allen running as much, I'm like, nah, that boy better run that fucking ball. Motherfucker's 6'5",
Yeah.
he's a bad man.
Yeah, man, but if Josh Allen goes down, then I think the Buffalo Bills are
Bills don't
done.
win 5 games.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, but anyway, continue. It's your point.
I don't think he goes down. So we've got Waddle for bleh. We got Waddle for
Whoa.
There we go. We got Waddle for 40. We got James Cook for 2 receiving catches. We've got Josh Allen for 25 rushing yards. And the one that's going to put us over the top right here, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Devon Aiken for anytime touchdown scorer.
That's fair. I like that.
They allowed 2 rushing touchdowns last week. The Dolphins did. The Bills did. And I like that. That puts you a plus 336. If you boost it, you're a plus 505.
5 to 1. That's nice.
So
that's nice.
I love that for the 50% boost. I'm going to throw 2 units on that. I really like that. Aiken, anytime touchdown. Josh Allen, 25 rushing yards. James Cook, 2 receptions. Jalen Waddle for 40 yards. Lock it in. I'll see you next week when we win.
Hell yeah. I like it, man. I do. Well, how about you bring us into the second game you want to chat about?
Well, it depends on which one you want to do. Do you want to do the one that starts with Flock Nation? Because we're going there. Go ahead. We got the Raiders going to M&T Bank Stadium. Raiders going to see the Ravens at home. Ravens at home. Ravens are favored at minus 9.5. Over-unders at 41.5. Raiders lost against the Chargers 22-10, with the Chargers having J.K. Dobbins carry that team. Absolutely carry that team. The boy rushed for over 100 yards, got a tutty.
Damn.
It's heartbreaking to see him on the Chargers when the Ravens had him and were so high up on him for so long.
Right.
He was just riddled with injuries. But I think J.K. Dobbins has a great year, but back to what we were talking about. Ravens coming off a devastating loss against the Chiefs, 27-10,
Man.
27-20. That broke my heart.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of
That
people.
broke my heart.
Yeah.
Chiefs sent him home last year.
They say they were going to win, though.
I did.
But yeah.
He almost caught me up. But the Ravens, they lost 27-20. You know, the Chiefs sent them home last year.
Yeah.
And then on opening day, beat them again.
Yeah.
This is not a good sign for Flock Nation. If they can't get past the top dog in the AFC, how are they ever going to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I'll tell you how. I've figured out a solution, and it is you have to be the home team. Ravens cannot go to Arrowhead and play them in the playoffs. They fucking cannot. That's going to be the breaking point right there.
So what you're saying is they basically need to win the division and get that home advantage.
They have to. They don't have a choice.
It's looking tough, man.
Last week's game was rough. The Chiefs got way too many fucking calls going their way.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
That officiating crew should be reevaluated.
Bro, how many fucking offensive
False starts?
illegal formation bullshit?
Oh, yeah. They're calling the same shit on the Ravens, saying illegal formation, illegal formation. Even Harbaugh, you can read his lips. He says, you need to call it both ways, which they did not.
Yeah, yep.
Which was absolute bullshit. You have Steve Spagnuolo run down the sideline and call a timeout. First of all, you're not allowed to be past the 30. Second of all, the only person that can call a timeout on the sideline is Andy fucking Reid.
Mm-hmm.
So for the refs to walk up to Steve Spagnuolo and be like, hey, it's okay, buddy. Just don't do it again. Absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Yeah, man.
I'm not saying that determined the
Was it the deciding
outcome.
factor? Yeah.
Correct. Because Lamar Jackson had Zay Flowers wide open in the end zone and threw it 12 feet behind.
Behind him. Yeah,
And-
that would have been it right there. And again, maybe they wanted to go probably for the 2 anyway, so that game would have ended the following play. But I would have loved to at least see it go to that point.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
No. I agree with you on that. Lamar did not just miss Zay Flowers. He missed multiple wide open receivers, and that has to change this week against the Raiders. He does not have a choice for that to change. The Raiders, they struggled last week against the Chargers. Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Oh, you're done?
No. I just didn't know if you wanted to chime in at all.
I'll be honest. I didn't get to read too much into this game, so I'm quite entertained, and I'm sure you guys are. So I'm honestly letting what you're saying right now influence what I'm going to choose.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and rattle off what I find odd about the Raiders. So what I'm going to do to you guys is I'm going to read off some stat lines for you.
Let's hear it.
Okay? Gardner Minshew, 25 for 33, 257 yards. Boom. Minshew Mania,
nice.
He does what he does.
Nice.
You get exactly what you expect out of him. He's not throwing 300 yards. Jacoby Myers, 3 for 61. Devontae Adams, 5 for 59. Rookie Brock Bowers at tight end, 6 for 58. And guess what?
What's up?
They scored 1 touchdown that whole game.
Yeah.
That is sickening.
Yeah.
How do you have that talent and you guys can't find the end zone? That is absolutely insane to me. If the Raiders are having trouble finding the end zone against the Chargers, they're in for a fucking nightmare against the Ravens while they're in M&T Bank Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it really came down to basically just field goals for them. They couldn't do anything, and the Chargers kind of went that way too, but they ended up pulling, I think, 2 touchdowns closer to the end of the second half.
Yeah. So with that being said, the Ravens also have 10 days of rest and 10 days of corrections, 10 days of practice.
A lot of time.
Being able to get themselves correct while the Raiders have a smaller turnaround time at 7 days. I don't know how you don't agree with me on this one. Give me Lamar and company. I'll take the Ravens at over -7.5, and I love over 37.5. Personally, I think the Ravens can score 30 points themselves this game.
One thing about Gardner Minshew is the dude doesn't ever give the fuck up. He really doesn't. I know he's playing on a new team here, but I think his persona and his charisma transfers regardless who and what team he's playing for and with. I think they're still trying to kind of understand each other because, again, Gardner Minshew had that relationship and that foundation with the Indianapolis Colts. But at least Gardner Minshew gets a completely new starting slate from the beginning of the season with the Las Vegas Raiders. So overall, though, one pick, I'm going to choose one of these lines anyway, but one pick, and I think I have a little niche. I do have a little niche. I'm 2 for 2 on interceptions this season.
Who?
I called Jalen Hurts to make
Yes,
an
you
interception.
did. Count it.
And I also called Jared Goff.
Count it.
That's 2. The third one
That didn't make it to the podcast.
that is about to make it to the podcast. Who?
Rodgers.
Oh, I didn't take it though.
I know, but
But
like,
you did do it. You're
after
right,
the
but you're right.
podcast,
Oh, you're
I
right.
shit
Yes.
you not,
You're- yes,
inside
you're right.
of this
You're right.
podcast booth.
Yeah, you're
He's-
right.
I really feel like Rodgers is going
Yeah.
to get a pick.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Well, the third one I think I'm going to call here now, and I will bet it, is Gardner Minshew. Because
I love
Baltimore
that.
has
I
an
love
absolute
that.
great secondary, man. Like,
Yeah.
they really do. They have good pressure. Gardner Minshew can definitely take it. He knows when to dish out, make a run if he has to. But I think at some point in this game, let alone because if the line is already sitting at -9.5, 10 points, that means that they already expect for the Las Vegas Raiders to try to make a comeback at some point because the Ravens are going to pull away, which means that Gardner Minshew is going to have to dish the ball. Obviously, to either Jacoby Myers or Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Those are all reliable for him, especially at this team and point. So I do like that. But if I had to choose any line where it's set right now, 9.5 is quite big. Can I see it be done by the Baltimore Ravens? Absolutely. But I think I'm going to roll, and I usually don't roll with these, but I'm liking the over 41.5.
Okay.
I do.
Whew.
I do.
I thought you were about
Oh,
to
you
take
know, that was
the
Vegas
fucking
spread?
Chargers. I
No.
thought you were about to take the Raiders.
plus 9?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, my God.
But I do like the over 41.5. I could see, honestly, Raiders maybe getting 1 touchdown, maybe a field goal. So that's what, 10 points? Maybe even 9, so 3 field goals.
Yeah, again, they only scored 10 against the Chargers.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they're about to face a 10 times harder defense.
Exactly. In Baltimore.
Yeah.
In Baltimore.
And, Lamar does fantastic at home. And if you needed any other type of juice to back up his interception bet, Gardner threw one last week.
Yep.
And, again, against the Chargers defense. So how can you not back that leg up?
Yeah.
With him going against the Ravens defense in M&T Bank Stadium.
So those are your 3 picks for this game. Baltimore Ravens -8.5? No, 7.5. I like the over 41.5.
I like over 37.
And I like Gardner Minshew for a interception that game.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I think that leads me to my favorite game, which would be the Detroit Lions versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ooh.
In Tampa, right?
Nope. They're going to Detroit.
Oh, boy, you're right. So this is the revenge game. I think that's what everyone's going to call this. Will the Bucs be able to make their presence known against what we called them last week, an elite team? At this point, I feel like they are. But they got freaking Baker Mayfield. Poor Browns, bro. Poor Cleveland Browns
Fuck
to
the
let
Browns.
someone like this dog go.
They don't
And-
deserve to have him.
Yeah, man.
They gave up on him way too quickly.
Yeah, man. The way he played, the whole team played, their last game was absolutely phenomenal. Granted, they were playing Washington, but overall, it just really goes to show what sort of potential that this team has once they're locked in from the beginning to the end. And I think they showed that the whole way through. And I'm really happy that every single good player, I mean, not that they're all bad or all good, excuse me, but all of them are practically good. You got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I think little freshman Otten is making his way up there as a tight end.
sure.
But obviously, Raji White, I was so upset that he didn't make a touchdown. But he had so many yards receiving and rushing that he clearly made his presence known as a running back. Mike Evans scored 2 touchdowns. Chris Godwin scored 1. So they pushed him like hell. The Lions, though. Man, what?
Let me chime in real quick. Just so you guys know, Buccaneers are going to Detroit. Lions are favored at -7. Over-under sits at 50.
Big spread. Big spread, man. Speaking of the Lions, what a game from beginning to end. It wasn't definitely what I was used to. The reason I say so is Amari St. Brown. He was on my fantasy. The dude.
Oh, you got him on your team?
I do. I do. And he caught the ball 3 times for 13 yards, bro. While someone like Jameson Williams broke 100-plus yards.
Makes no sense.
Laporta did good as usual. I think we're accustomed to that. And then over the course of two powerhouse running backs like Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery. Monty Gibbs was rushing 40 yards, 34 receivings, and a touchdown. Crazy. I think the game really did a good way to display the Rams. They can't really stop the run. We said it at the beginning of this pod. I don't think that the Lions ever passed the ball the whole time, that overtime drive, bro. They gave it to Monty every single snap as soon as they got the ball in overtime, and they couldn't stop him. And they pushed him, and he got 91 rushing yards and a game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, I guess who's got Montgomery on their bench in their fantasy?
You do?
This guy!
Damn, son, that sucks. Well, I do have a little bit of pieces here, and then I should be making my way to my pick, but I'm going to let you go. Both teams have excellent defenses, Buccaneers and the Lions. Both QBs are truly getting pressured this game. I know they are. I'll give props to Stafford for that game, being able to work around all that pressure that the Lions do give up.
Especially with Aiden Hutchinson running at you.
In that also, again, I called it out.
Bad
Jared Goff, interception, man. Hear me out. I'm going to keep this going. It seems like that I have a little niche for that. But anyway.
But no, hold on 1 second. I feel like that is an untapped market that this man has completely destroyed. He has taken it by storm. Nobody else, I've met multiple cappers. I've talked to so many cappers. I talked to so many gamblers. And not one person I talked to is even slightly invested in the interception area.
I feel like they're becoming more common.
A player props.
Yeah.
And so hats off to you, man. That is absolutely fucking
I know
beautiful.
I keep touching on it, but I'm just very proud I found something I'm pretty good
You should be.
at.
You should be.
Nonetheless, Lions against Bucks in Detroit. This is my favorite 1 p.m. game for sure. I think that this is going to be a lot tighter than most of the sports books think. Put in the line at 7.5 favoring the Lions. Pretty ballsy. But do the Buccaneers have the defense to step up from last year? Do they? They lost by 8 points. Possibly that's why the line is sitting at 7. I believe there will be a point where the Lions will pull away, at least by 2 possessions in the game. Baker's going to have to really step up.
Oh, they know how to blow a game, though. If you guys
up.
remember the 49ers game last year in the NFC Championship, they beat the living shit out of them in the first half.
Yeah.
And it looks like they just walked out and completely gave up, which it was very heartbreaking. But at the same time, you've got Baker Mayfield in this game. Mm-hmm. We've already touched on him a couple times, but everybody has their opinion about Baker. And it's normally ones that I don't like because Baker does not get the love he deserves.
I agree, man.
At all. So I'm a big Sooners fan. So when I watched him plant that fucking flag in the middle of that logo, it was one of the greatest feelings ever. I'm like, I will like this dude. He's like Johnny Manziel if he never did drugs.
That's one way to put it.
Baker Mayfield is an absolute dog. Like Johnny said, he went 24 for 30, 289 yards, 4 tutties, not 1 interception. He only threw 6 incompletions that entire game.
Yeah, bro, that's insane.
Now,
that's insane.
Granted, it was not the Lions.
Right. Exactly. It was Washington. But still.
At the end of the day, Baker is still Baker, and I truly believe he still has that dog in him. I think that motherfucker should I think Baker really does have a different gear that he can switch it into to show people that he is still an elite quarterback. And then it doesn't hurt to have Mike Evans on the fucking receiving end. Mike Evans, 100% a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm almost positive. You can go double check me on this one. I'm almost positive since he has came in the league, he has never not had a 1,000-yard season.
Yep, that is correct. That is a ongoing stat.
Dude's absolutely amazing. And, if the yards don't impress you, the touchdowns should.
Yep.
Mike Evans got 2 of them. And
he broke a record last year, too.
They're very good. They have everything they need besides a couple spots. You could improve on a couple defensive areas, but other than that, I love what the Bucs have going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I expect Mike Evans to have even more yards this week, and I think you should too. But you still got the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
You still got the motherfucking Lions.
That's what I want to hear.
The Lions are not a walk in the park.
No,
by any stretch.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Their dual threat running back should be one of the biggest causes for concern. And I say that because last week, the Bucs gave up 138 rushing yards. Now, granted,
It's a lot.
88 of those came from a guy that we have not touched on yet. Jaden fucking Daniels. Great quarterback over there at the Commanders. They finally, I'm happy for them. They finally have somebody they can build a team around. And I love that for them. But at the same time, you know, dual threat running backs are not the same as a rushing quarterback.
Exactly.
And Jared Goff is, is not a rushing quarterback.
Not at all.
Not even close. But one of the biggest problems the Lions have right now is going to be getting Amon-Ra St. Brown going.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I have a feeling that most defenses are planning their gameplay around trying to shut him down.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do that now. Now that you have Williams absolutely popping off and showing that he is a legitimate contender for wide receiver number
Another
one on that
worrisome
offense.
target. Exactly.
100%. Don't get me wrong, Jameson Williams, hell of a day, 5 catches, 132 yards in the tutty. But if you want to get back to where you were last year, you have to get Amon-Ra back inside of this game plan. You cannot have him getting 6 targets and 3 catches for 13 yards. The way you won ball games last year was with Amon-Ra St. Brown having 60, 70, 80, 90, 110, 120-yard fucking games.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think that's exactly what everyone was expecting, let alone myself.
That it's unacceptable. And for Dan Campbell, for the standard that he runs on that Lions team, he should not be allowing their main wide receiver to only get 6 targets. And
Exactly.
with that being said,
Let's hear it.
give me the Bucks at plus 9.5 and give
Dang.
me under 53.5.
Wow, man. That I like to hear it. I like to hear it.
You thought I was going to go with the Lions, didn't you?
I want the Bucks to win so bad. But I don't think they're going to be able to. I think the Detroit Lions win outright, man. And it's so funny because I'm so used to you going with the favorite. I do. Maybe the 7 is like, again, what's a stretch, which is what gives like maybe some false hope even to me. But I don't know by how much they're going to win by. So if I could make an alternate, I'm going to have to take the Detroit Lions minus 6 points even.
Okay.
I won't bet this though. Because I don't know how it's going to go.
Don't give me a bet you ain't going back up.
But I'm going to give you one that I will.
Okay, all right.
Chill.
My bad.
Chill.
He already knew that I was going to come with that
So
shit.
I'm going to give you guys my favorite 2-leg parlay. And the odds aren't even out yet. But this is going to smack. My 2 legs are Rashid White over 25 receiving yards. The dude is now, and I think overall the NFL we saw week 1, all these running backs are being utilized in this pass rush now. They're getting a lot of receptions and targets and receiving yards, you name it.
Kyron Williams
really-
only went 3 for 4 last week.
What, targets?
Yeah.
3 for 4. Okay, what's the receiving yards?
4.
4?
4.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
3
that's the
catches.
Rams, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I said all the teams.
No. I'm just saying the
Is it
Lions
because that's what they
only
faced?
allowed
Yeah.
that many last
That's
week.
fine. But guess what? Kyrie Williams is not Raji White.
100%.
That is the thing. They really make their playbook on Raji White just as much as they do with Mike Evans.
Raji White, 6 for 75 last week.
Exactly my point. I'm only asking for 25. His receptions might be probably like 3 or 4, but I don't know what the odds are. But 25 is going to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, he got 6 targets, 6 receptions.
His line was 22, I think, this week. So it might rise a bit, but I like it at 25. And if it's not going to be like maybe it'll probably be minus 200 or 300. So that's why I'm adding the second leg, Cade Otton, the tight end for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's a young buck. But at the end of the year last year, the guy got like 2 or 3 touchdowns and 5 or 6 targets a game in the playoffs. So I'm only asking for 1. He got 2 or 1 last game anyway. Again, granted, it was the Washington Commanders, but they're going to have to pull out some plays against the Detroit Lions to be able to get this done. And I think those 2 should cash pretty easily, to be honest with you. So that's why I'm not taking the minus 6.5 to bet on, but I do think the Lions will win. I'm going to take those 2 legs. So that's what I'm going with.
I like that. So just a little reminder, you guys, that the Lions have already beat the Bucks in 2024.
2024.
2024, that is correct.
Are you talking about the playoff game?
Yes, sir.
Right. That's why I said this is the revenge game, bro.
Yeah,
The revenge game.
But the Lions won 23-31.
Exactly. That's why I said they only lost by 8 points. Maybe that's why the number is sitting at 7.
That's why I took them at 9.5.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I took them at 6, because it could probably fall. I feel like it's going to be there, like around that range. I want to do a winning margin, but I think the hardest part is to figure out who's going to win. Who's going to win?
Yeah. That's why I like the Bucks more at plus 9.5, because 100% they do have potential to win this game. That you can't doubt that. You can't.
I can't.
But if the Lions do win, it is going to be by a tutty, and I don't think it's anything more than that.
Hence why I chose 6.
Hence why I chose plus 9.5. I like it. Let's lock it in, baby.
Exactly.
My guy.
Well, I think that brings us to our, unless you have another parlay, I was going to say our little speed round that we like to do. We're going to start doing these probably at the end of every episode, guys. We're just going to blast through them. I don't know if you want to do spreads. I'd rather just take the ML just to at least say who's going to win.
If I don't like the spread, then I'm going to take money line. But, yeah, the speed round, I know we haven't done it a lot, but this is going to be a new thing at the end of the podcast every single episode.
I think it's beneficial for you guys who are like, oh man, maybe we didn't,
like guys
didn't
that
touch
are
on this
dedicated.
game. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, oh, that's your hometown game or team to root for.
It's
We're gonna
bullshit to
touch
only
that.
do 3 teams and at least not put our input in
Exactly.
on every single game. So we're going to skip Bills and Dolphins. If you didn't hear that, go ahead and double back and go listen to the beginning of the episode.
Sir, let's start off with the New Orleans Saints and Dallas Cowboys.
Got the New Orleans Saints going over to Dallas. Dallas is at home. Spread sits at Dallas at minus 4.5 favorites. Over under sits at 46.5. I will take Dallas at minus 4.5, and I will take the over at 46.5.
I'm gonna take Dallas at minus 4.5. Do I have to choose the over and unders too?
You don't have to if you don't want to.
All right,
I'm just confident in that.
I'll pick
I like
one or the
that.
other for you guys. One or the other. I'm gonna go with Dallas Cowboys minus 4.5.
All right, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Detroit Lions, which we already
heard
touched
it.
on. We're not going to touch that. We got the
Cleveland
Browns going to Jacksonville. Browns are not favored. You got Jacksonville favored at minus 3.5. Over under sits at 41.5. I like Jacksonville at minus 3.5. Deshaun Watson's dealing with the new sexual assault allegation. I do
saw
not
that
like
too.
him. He played like absolute ass last week. Johnny, what you got on that one?
Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars at minus 3.5.
Alrighty.
Next one is 49ers and Vikings. That's going to be an interesting one, but I think it's going to be pretty easy for them. Give me the 49ers at minus 4.5. Next one, Los Angeles Chargers.
Hold on.
Oh,
Let me get mine in.
Oh, you're right. You're on my phone.
49ers, I will take them. Dude, I would take them up to minus 9.5.
Oh, okay, we're making alternates too? Okay, if that was the
No,
case.
I'm just saying, like,
Okay.
I think that's crazy. They are disrespecting the fuck out of the 49ers
Exactly,
right now.
yes.
And it is insane. Please take advantage of this, folks, okay?
Okay.
So give me 49ers. If I have to pick the spread with no alternate, I like them at minus 4.5. Over-under sits at 45.5. Give me the over.
Just for a quick alternate then, I wanted to say it, but since you did it, you helped me. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars at minus 5.5. I think they beat the Browns like nothing. But that's just a quick bit. Los Angeles Chargers against the Carolina Panthers. Cakewalk. Give me the Chargers at minus 4.5.
Agreed. I like the Chargers at minus 4.5. And touching on what Johnny brings up, I will take Bryce Young for an interception in that game.
Ah, yes. That's a great
and
one.
I will
he threw
take
2 last time.
What's that number at? Over under
38.5.
38.5.
That seems like a little trap though.
Give me the under.
Yeah, exactly. Next one.
Next one, we got the Raiders at the Ravens. We already touched on this one, but fuck it, I already said it, so let's do it. Ravens are favored at minus 9.5. If I have to take the straight up spread, I'll take the Ravens at minus 9.5. Last time I took them at minus 9.5. They killed it.
Yep.
They won by a mile. Over under at 41.5. I like the over. Give me over 41.5.
I'll take Baltimore minus 9.5. Next one, Seattle Seahawks against New England Patriots. They beat Joe Shiesty. But can they beat
Crazy.
Seattle? I think they absolutely can. I'm surprised they're honestly plus 3.5. So I'm going to go ahead and take the New England Patriots at plus 3.5.
Tell you right now, he's wrong. Go ahead and give me the Seahawks at minus 3.5 and give me the over at 37.5. I like that one.
I like the over 2.
Bet, big bet, big bet.
Next
big bet. We have got the Colts going to Lambeau Field. Colts are going to go see the Packers.
Oh,
Colts are
man.
favored at -3.5. Over under
Be a good game.
40.5. With Jordan Love 100% being out, I do like the Colts to score at
He
least.
is 100% out.
I love the Colts to score 30 points. I think the Packers can manage to get a touchdown on the field goal. Give me over 40.5 points.
Dude, I didn't even remember that. If they offer whoever the backup, I mean, Indianapolis has a
Malik
great,
Willis.
great.
It was one of the Titans' first-round picks.
Then I'm thinking
Way
of
back in the
interception,
day.
but hey, follow below. Follow on our links below in case I throw that pick out there. I'm not sure yet, but if I had to take right now, give me the Colts on the ML, just
Great
in
pick.
case it comes that.
Great pick. Next one's on you, buddy.
New York Jets against the Tennessee Titans. Speaking of, this one honestly, I think is going to go pretty easy. Give me the New York Jets.
He likes the New York Jets
On the
going
ML.
to Tennessee. Give me the New York Jets to cover at -2.5 instead of 3.5.
Okay.
And 40.5. I like over 40.5 on that one.
Okay.
Next game, we have got the New York Giants going to Washington. New York Giants facing the Washington Commanders. Commanders are favored at -1.5. Over
Two
under is
shitty
at
teams.
44.5.
Interesting.
Give me the fucking Commanders at -1.5. I love what their rookie quarterback's doing right now, and I will take the under at 44.5.
Man, this one sucks. I don't know who's going to win this one. Give me the under 44.5 on this one. I don't know who wins.
right.
Next one, LA Rams against the Arizona Cardinals. Oh, man. That one's tight, man.
Nah, bro, that's crazy.
Go first then.
That's crazy. Give me the over under sits at 49.5. Rams are underdogs by +1.5. Cardinals are favored at -1.5. Go ahead and give me the Rams at +1.5 for even fucking money. And the over-under, I don't even know what to tell you guys about the way the Cardinals played last
Probably don't
week.
touch it,
the way
man.
the Rams played last week. Go ahead and give me the over on that one.
Man, I don't know. I feel like that one's a trap, man. That's weird to me.
Give me the Rams all fucking day at +1.5. That's crazy that they are the
Why?
underdog because
Yeah.
Puka Nacua is out.
That's why?
Yes, 100%. He's going
fucking
straight to the IR.
I guess I don't like it, but I don't know. It's a trap, but I'll go with the Rams, I guess. I'll go with the Rams. Cincinnati Bengals against the Kansas City Chiefs. That one's absolutely easy. If my fucking New England Patriots can beat the Cincinnati Bengals, give me the Chiefs at -5.5 in Arrowhead.
I'm taking the same shit. I'm tailing that. Over-under sits at
47?
47.5. Give me the under.
Give me the under.
Next game, we have got Pittsburgh Steelers going to Denver. Pittsburgh Steelers going to go see the Broncos. Broncos are the underdogs. Steelers are favored at -3. Over-under sits at 36.5. That is way too low for any NFL game. Go ahead and give me the over.
Give me the Steelers money line on that one. I honestly believe in a little bit of Bo Nix. Bennett, man, he had one bad game, but I don't think he bounces back just yet. So give me the Steelers money line. Next one, Chicago Bears against the Houston Texans.
Sunday
This
Night
one's
Football.
Interesting. This one is interesting for
That's
a Sunday
gonna
Night Football.
be an easy win. I'll tell you what it is here in a minute. Johnny, what you got?
Give me.
Stop.
Wait, who's the quarterback for the Bears again?
Rookie Caleb Williams.
Oh yeah. I heard he didn't do that well.
No,
Because
he did not do
the Chicago
well.
Bears didn't even get a touchdown, right?
No.
The defense got
They
two
won.
of them, and they still won.
I'm pretty sure the Bears coach came out and said if we would have punted every single time on 1st and 10, we would have still won the game.
Man. Oh, you don't think it's a trap for a Sunday Night
Hell
Football game?
no. Give me the fucking Texans at -4.5. What are they?
You're right, you're
oh, they're
right.
at 6.5. Yeah, give me the Texans by a tutty. Over-under sits at 45.5. I'm going to take the under.
All right, I'll take the minus, what's that? 6.5? Yeah, I'll go with minus 6.5 Texans. And the last one, Atlanta Falcons against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. In Philly, I'm not going to think too hard on this one. Just give me the Eagles at -4.5.
Give me the Eagles at -4.5. Over-under sits at 47.5. Give me the under all day on that.
No comment.
You like the over?
I barely even touched any of the overs on
All
this
right,
last one.
all right.
All right. Well, I think that about closes and touches on every single game that we have on week 2. So if you guys enjoyed the content, as always, please be sure to drop a like, hit subscribe, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, on the Discord too if you want to see our plays and Louis Bagels, Jay's parlays. You'll know what to do. You got me,
Discord's
Johnny G.
jumping.
Yes, sir.
Discord's jumping.
Yes, sir. Jonny Gamble here, about to sign out with my boy.
Nicky G.
We will catch you guys. No clack. On the next one.
We'll add a sound effect. Love you guys.
Peace.